Hello everyone, welcome back to Beskidy. We are in planting season. I almost said harvesting season, I don't know why. We are planting wheat here in this particular field with our Ursus tractor C4011, or however I'm supposed to say that. Not being Polish, there's a lot I have to learn in here. And in one of my last episodes, here, let me get this guy planting. I think all I need to do is lower it. Oh, he's already lowered. Very good. I think I am lined up. Let's head off. Alright, there we go. In one of my recent episodes, I think 2 episodes or 1 episode before this one, I had inquired, I think this was a unit here, one of the tractors had a cultivator and a planter combination. It was either this one or the other tractor. And I didn't know if this was common in Polish agriculture. And I got a reply in one of the comments that said, yes, that is historical Polish agriculture to do the cultivating and planting, I guess, in one single operation. So I kind of missed the opportunity to use it as intended, although at the time I couldn't really figure out just how I was supposed to do it. I'm still trying to learn a lot of things on Farm Sim 13 too, in terms of just how it works and all the quirks of these particular mods and so forth. By George, that looks like it did a wider... Well, let me try this. It almost looks like it's wider than what I thought it would be. Yeah, it's doing a little bit wider. I'd like to get a little bit of headland up here before I plant the rest of the field. And, it looks like I may need to fertilize a strip kind of down the middle. We'll see about that. But anyway, here we are going on our faithful Ursus tractor. And, I got some things to share, as I'm kind of learning about this. I don't know if it'd be of interest to anyone else. I started looking at this equipment saying, well, okay, this is an Ursus C4011. What does that mean? What kind of a tractor was this? When was it manufactured? Who manufactured it? Well, I guess we can figure that out, kind of by name. But anyway, just in the interest of trying to learn a little more about this, I looked up a few things, and as soon as I get a headland in here, actually I may have more work to do to put in a headland than I think. Well, but for the moment, we'll just traipse along here, and I'm watching the seeds go down, so it's making me wonder, this is the field that I joined up earlier in an earlier session, where I kind of connected 2 fields, and I can't remember anybody commenting whether that's something that would be done in Poland or not. That's probably an American tendency to do that. If you have 2 that are close together, and and if you own both, sometimes it may make sense to just join the 2 and kind of take out the median, which is what I did here. Now, whether someone would do that in Poland or not, I haven't the foggiest idea. Well, let me see. I almost think at the far end, I think at the far end I may have sufficient space. I just want to make sure I got space to turn around. And some of these trees I've noticed don't have collisions on them, which is kind of helpful. Because then the tractors can kind of turn around, but I'll maybe do a strip kind of along this edge of the field before I just turn loose. And I'm going to have to freehand this and won't be able to use GPS, which was a pretty handy mod, by the way. Yeah, I should be able to do a couple strips here. Let me try to do it right about there. There we go. Yeah, then I'll bring a strip back and then do another one up here. And I think if I get them going kind of on the small end of the field up here, I think it works best for the hired help. I don't know if I need to zoom. That doesn't help to zoom out. You know, I know I've mentioned before, there's been a couple folks that have handed me some mods. There is still so much here. I don't know that I have a prayer of ever getting into all of it or seeing what all it entails. But I appreciate those who have shared those mods with me for suggesting the map. And I'm kind of going from memory. What was his name? I know I can read it. It's Kanapkis Uranum. And I'm trying to remember, was that uranium sandwiches? I can't, it was just a funny, when you translate it, I think that's just his nickname. So he's provided a number of them, and it seems like there was someone else, and the name is escaping me at the moment. So, bunch of mods to do some damage in here. Turn off the PDA. You know, some of the issues that a person encounters playing an older farming sim game, kind of like we're doing here, is finding mods. And I think I've mentioned before, I belong to a group, a Discord group, you know, where they kind of celebrate some of the older versions, and I don't know, I just have a fondness for them. And maybe some of it, you know, I know I've commented on before, some of the modding has changed dramatically going into the newer versions, and there just isn't enough hours in the day to try to relearn everything that I thought I had learned, and I know some of it would be building upon that. But some of it too is just for my own peace of mind, just to have maximize enjoyment. You know, maybe for me, I need to stick, you know, with some of the older versions. But anyway, there's a Discord group that kind of focuses on it and locating mods of some of the oldest, you know, versions, particularly Farm Sim 08 and 09. Although increasingly, you know, with each year that passes, the next oldest versions become just as old. You know, they're only kind of following on a 2-year arc. So I know I've had difficulty. I've got a little series in Farm Sim 11 finding mods. There's a handful of sites out there that are still open and active, if you will, to where you can download mods. You know, one of them being modhoster.com, which I believe is a German site, but they have tons of mods on there, starting with Farm Sim 11. But I'll tell you, you look for mods Farm Sim 09 or Farm Sim 08, if you're interested in those versions, they are slim to none. And a lot of the sites, you know, that used to exist for these, they're like off the air. Something happened to them. They just are no longer out there. All right, do I have sufficient space? Let me see. Let me get this lined up. 270. Oops. Oh yes, I had this trouble last time. I just want to line up. Okay, perfect. I think we're gonna call that good. Let me see here. No, don't shift it over. Yeah, we'll see what this character does. He's at 270. We'll see when he turns around if he's at 90. The other end of the compass. And he's going to take a little while to do this. No, he isn't at 90, is he? Yeah, I'm going to have to redo this. It can be so exasperating. And as much as it adds to the game, you know, in some of the, I don't know where the Giants introduced the snap angle, you know, where you would come in here. It probably was for performance, where you could go forward and backward, and then side to side, north, south, east, west, as it were, and then northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. You know, just the basics, you know, versus what they call multi-angle terrain. Maybe if I put the planter down, is that close enough? No, you don't need to shift it all the way over there. 2956. Now if it's going to shift a little bit, let me see. Let's do it. Yeah, try that out, bud. Am I pulling an error that would do that? No, don't think so. Alright, we'll leave him to his devices here. And again, this is our handy little Ursus C4011 planting wheat. Plant away, buddy. Alright, we'll go to another one. We'll cycle through a couple of these. Lots of machinery to explore. You know, I think this one here, let me get rid of this annoying... Oh, he loud. Yeah, I like the rumble of this one here. Ursus, let's see, 1224. Yeah, maybe it was this one here that had the cultivator in front of the planter, and in my ignorance, I took it off because I didn't know what I was doing, when I think according to the person that gave me these mods, I was supposed to leave them on. And anyways, like I say, oh, yeah, well, when you do the ad, it's gonna start that back up. And we're putting barley in here, as I recall. So let's get a few rows done. Oh yeah, his brake is on. Let's try this. Man, this puppy moves. Okay, we're supposed to be at 1. Yeah, that makes sense. For some reason, I thought we could go to 2. That doesn't hardly look like it's going to plant all that. But, alright, whatever. Lift the planter. You know, the GPS mod was pretty good. As you know, I've observed it. This is the old version of the GPS mod. The GPS mod was totally redone then in Farm Sim 19 and beyond. But I think in 13, 15, and 17, I believe there was a modder by the name of Upside Down who did the GPS mod, and it was pretty good because there's a key binding you can do to have it determine how wide. Am I gonna hit a tree? Yeah, see, there's probably no collisions on the tree. It was pretty good at auto-determining, or when you press the key binding, how wide your implement was. But it wasn't perfect. And, you know, I'm kind of wondering, like, if I do this, see, it's obviously a little bit wide. Is this gonna... there's too many keys to press. Is this gonna hit the whole... Hi, George. It looks like it is. You know, that looks funny to our eyes. That's a little bit off, so it would appear. I wonder if this tree has any collisions. Nope. Boy, that is handy. So handy. Alright, now let's get her going this direction. I'll try to do the... here's another thing. Okay, let me do it this way. Oh, and it always turns it off. There's key bindings that are interfering with one another. Alright, attaboy. Here we go, up the hill, 90 degrees. Oh, there's a plane out the window coming by. I love it when a mapper puts that extra attention to detail in a map. There goes I got a blinker on, or an indicator light. I don't know if the collisions are on in this one too. How did I get the brakes on? Alright. Alright, this one I'm going to have to freehand, kind of like the others. Alright, let me see. Am I going somewhat straight? I better straighten that out. Plant along this edge. Let me check in briefly, make sure my other tractor... Yep, still moving, it appears to be. Alright, that's one length. Get along here. I'll just freehand this. Good setup GPS. Not worth it probably for such a short little distance. And then I'm going to get him going. Planting some barley. And those of you that are Polish, you know, some of this, you know, we would do just for the sake of playability. You know, where we would, you know, plant the headlands. In real life, I don't know that we would quite do it this way. I almost think we would plant the middle of the field and maybe go around the edge at the end. I don't know, I've been out of farming for a long time. And even when I was, I didn't really get in on the planting part. I was more just helped during the summer. Alright, this might be enough to make it so we can go back and forth. That's the main reason I'm doing it, is just to give him no excuse to do anything other than keep planting on this here field. Alright, now let me get off of there. Try to look at this head down. See if I can... Alright, that's almost perfectly at 180. There we go. Is that about right? Yeah, baby. Alright, higher. Yeah. Alright, so that should hopefully stick. Let's go back to our other tractor. We'll leave this one alone. We'll check it out. Okay, he's down to 103 liters. Actually, you know what? The other one may run out sooner. Plant in the wheat. You know what? As I think about it, I probably should learn something about this. I don't even know how to pronounce it. That. And learn something about the implements as well. But the Ursus C4011, what do I know about it? I got it in my hands here. There actually is a Wikipedia page I found for it, and it has some information on here, and I'll just read some of it. It says the turn of the 1950s and 1960s in Polish agriculture brought a demand for modern medium and heavy agriculture tractors. It was then that the idea of establishing cooperation with the Zetor tractor factory in Czechoslovakia was born. So I didn't even know that before this. You know that the Zetor was Czechoslovakian and that there was some kind of joint venture. In the fall of 1961, a special party and government delegation went there to talk about cooperation. On April 4th, 1962, an agreement was signed between the government of the Polish People's Republic and the government of the CSRS, valid until December 31st, 1980, sounds like over an 18-year agreement, on the cooperation in the production of tractors, under which the Polish side gave up the production of medium tractors of its own design and accepted a license for the Zetor 4011 tractor. So then it goes on to say, the first tractor left the factory hall on April 15th, 1965, and in April 1967, the C4011 tractor won a silver medal at a fair in Budapest. So I think it says of this particular model, let me see here. Yeah, I've mentioned several other models. Maybe the production of this run, of this similar tractor, ended, it says, in 1993. About 650,000 units were manufactured. Actually, well, let me see here. No, there's more other information. I think that's other Ursus tractors. This particular model, it appears, was produced from 65 to 70. It was two-wheel drive, which we can see here. It has some length. Width here, it's totally in millimeters. Let me see, I guess 3.2 meters long, 1.8 meters wide, 1.6 meters high. Some of them had cabs. This one here that we have in our mod, it doesn't have a cab. But I know we have another mod that I believe has a cab. Fuel tank, I don't even know this unit. DM cubed? Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Weighed approximately 2,100 kilograms. I'm trying to look for horsepower rating. Diesel powered, 4-cylinder. Horsepower. Oh, it even gives us so interesting information included here. They give the firing order of the pistons, even. And someone went to a lot of research and effort to put all this in there. He had his information on the clutch, gearbox, differential, rear drive. I don't see anything on horsepower. Oh, wait, there it is. 42 horsepower. At least that's kind of a power rating that I'd be used to in my country. There's another one that I know I've seen on a lot of these mods. It says 31, is that kilowatts? Which is equivalent apparently to 42 horsepower. And that's at 2,000 RPM. We sound like here that we're in idle. Doesn't sound anywhere near 2,000 RPM. Hey, what are you? Oh, you're stopping. Because you're empty. I was like, you're not going to turn around there. Alright, let's toodle back to the farm. Get another load of seed. Actually, the other guy's probably close to running out if he isn't already. Let me see, is he still going in the field? He is not. Yeah, he's probably sitting out there somewhere. Boop. Hired man sitting on his hands, being lazy. Yeah, once again, this not only is Poland, somewhere I've never been, probably never will get to go there, but their whole style of agriculture, their equipment is, well, for lack of a better term, it's foreign to me. And I've never, to my knowledge, ever seen one, an Ursus in the U.S., where I live. So every place is different. Here, let me take a slurp here while I'm handy. There's our rooster. Amp is sitting over here, digging out his belly button lint while we're working hard. Oop! Oh my goodness, I zoomed in too far. Zip in here and get some seed. Bumpity bump. Yeah, someone did a lot of work on these mods. It has features that we don't have in a lot of the standard in-game equipment. You know, for example, seeing the driver, you know, when you turn the wheel, you see that arm going there. I don't think we have that in the in-game mods, you know, where you're in the... Let me see if I can... Yeah, boy, you can even see it in here. That's kind of cool. Except now we're looking down, I can't see. Go back out a cap. The trees in here are so tall, you can't see jack diddly squat when you're driving underneath them. Oh! Potholes. You know, and I haven't looked on YouTube to hear kind of what these machines sound like, so it sounds interesting listening to this motor. I've never heard an Ursus, and it, you know, what are you running into, bud? I keep feeling like I'm hitting something. Anyway. But the motor on here doesn't sound quite right. In other words, I mean, it sounds almost like something maybe is a little off, but not that I'm a mechanical genius or anything. The idle sound sounds pretty good, but I'd be curious, you know, maybe I'm just dead wrong, and maybe that is how the Ursus sounds. Alright, let me put that down. Oh, let me... Why do you cock it to the side? Alright, now maybe that'll hold. Are you gonna hold that? You know, it could be off a couple little ticks, but in order to stay straight north and south, it's got to be pretty much on the 9-0 heading. Alright, we need to head to the other guy. Swing through our equipment. Oh yeah, he's out. Maybe I'll set you know what? That's a trick I can do. I'll have the GPS set so that when I return, I can just line it up with that, and hopefully be all set to go for when I start planting again. Yeah, I like the roar of this one. I almost wonder if I should be having this one pull the other planter, you know, which seems a little bit larger and heavier. Because I think this tractor, I'll need to look at some Wikipedia stuff on it. But I think it has a little bit more under the hood than the other tractor does. And I'm so glad I have that Polish grant, or rather European Union grant, which is helping folks like me get started. There we go. Close the hatch. Get started or keep in agriculture out in rural areas. Oh, boy, that zooms in a long ways. because that was just the financial injection that I needed, and is helping me get my fields planted and stay out of debt. Alright. Let me see. Can I... There we go. Is that close enough? There. Interesting. It opens the hatch in the back when it starts planting. I wonder why it does that. You know, the times I have been involved in planting, whether with my father and some of the stuff we've done around here, which is mainly replanting pastures and so forth, we do have it open in the back, but generally only when we're almost done. You know, when you're trying to clean the thing out and you need someone back there maybe to shoosh seed into the hole so it doesn't run out, because you don't want to have to just refill the whole thing. But anyway, so maybe they're counting on... See, this one doesn't even have a board on the back to stand on. I know the ones I'm used to, there'd be a rail kind of along the back to where a person or two could stand and kind of monitor the flow of the seed in these old gravity drills. Anyway, we have both of our tractors working hard, or hardly working, one of the two. So we'll leave them to it, and thank you so much for coming along and joining me here on Beskidy. I'm enjoying learning a little bit more about Polish agriculture, and this is a lovely map. I'm enjoying every minute that I'm in here. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.